So udi mpokua eni nipa ejina fa ako na so mpokua
jebe no hu no mpokua ho
me hu mpokua na me we fi me how let me ask you
wow dear
hey
language in itself should be treated as an emotion and not communication.
Amwanu ntiame mabobra me nanti fidie nie
Definitely.
You see, these guys probably might be using the Akan language, not necessarily because it is Akan, but the fact that certain expressions cannot be communicated with words. Like the fact that certain expressions cannot be translated. Proverbs carry rhythm. Pauses have meaning in the Akan or in the Akan context or language, in the Ghanaian and I believe in many other cultures as well. The fact that humor is always embedded in our pronunciation. And also the fact that an elder's speech almost always, all of the times connotes or signifies authority, respect, and authenticity. The audience here in this case aren't just listening to mere words, but then they are hearing their parents, their grandparents, the neighborhood compound elders speak to them. This is what makes us. Because you see, the ordinary life in itself is cinematic, okay? Our lives as a society or as a culture is cinematic. And so these guys are not really telling anything extraordinary. But for the fact that they're making the ordinary Ghanaian feel important, things like the early good morning, the compound sweeping, the wayside small market stalls, the old radios, the scene in itself and the setting within which they try to depict this all tells and makes us feel important. The scenes and the settings all seek to tell a particular narrative, and a lot of the times most of us walk past these things without taking notice of them. But then real storytellers turn all of these things into heritage. Another thing is also the fact that nostalgia isn't a destination. In fact, I would say that it's the biggest misconception out there, in that these guys are not seeking to tell remember this, but rather the goal is remember what we were, remember what we are. Do you remember who we are? And that is identity. And identity almost all of the time beats nostalgia. You see, every detail reinforces the world around you. A good cultural storytelling would always seek to be holistic, and it brings everything together. The clothing, the accent, the setting, the language, the background sound, the lighting, the facial expressions, the costume which they are wearing. Show up in a place and with your costume or your attire, we know where you're from. Nothing feels imported, it doesn't feel performative, and that to me is authenticity. And so the audience like you isn't just consuming content for content's sake, but then you're rather participating in cultural preservation. And that's why you see comments like, oh, my grandmother used to do this, my father used to say this, or my mother used to do this to us, we used to live this kind of way, we used to do this kind of things. Oh, I haven't heard this expression in a long while. Oh, this took me back into the olden, how we enjoyed the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. All of these are memory responses. And I think these guys have identified a gap which is way beyond Ghana, in that they have identified what I would call, or what we could call, an intellectual property. And It's not in the legal sense, but then in the creative sense. Okay, so that the proverbs, the market calls, the early good mornings, the compound sweeping, early morning compound sweeping, the neighborhood get together, the woman that lives along the street that owns a small market tabletop stall, the language, the community, all of these things I would say are assets, and if no one documents them, they would gradually disappear.
Eso we into market idea.
She obemia.
Minim kapre. Onte sa umia.
Ah, wamia.
Che, wamia asa. Eda so bo ho.
Wamia mienu.
Ni be mia wo hwa.